Taking Woodstock.
More like dudes taking it. I mean, this is an Ang Lee film. I mean, even the Hulk was gay, for fuck's sake.
No, the Hulk was just sensitive. That's all. Leave Hulk alone.
Hulk doesn't want to smash, but Hulk will if you don't leave Hulk alone.
I mean, let's be honest. Even the monsters he fought were mutated poodles.
I didn't think about that.
And he did wear big purple cutoffs.
Very tight, short shorts.
Very tight,
No
yeah.
shirt.
Is that gay?
It's raining Hulk.
Kind of oily.
Hallelujah, it's raining Hulk.
Now, this is about not a gay Hulk, but about
It should be.
but about the Woodstock Festival. And look, I'm looking forward to this movie. I didn't see it, and I'm going to go see the next screening because I really love this period. I love Woodstock. I love the hippie culture from 1969 when it was in 1969. He's fucking
Because it smells kind of bad.
exactly. He's drum beating sons of bitches around here today.
Well, hacky sack ruined it.
Yeah.
That was what the end was.
Hacky sack and lack of deodorant. But this is, what is this about? Because it's an Ang Lee movie, and I like Ang Lee movies, man, except for the Hulk.
Well, here's the important thing you need to know. Like, yeah, it's about the Woodstock, music festival, but it's not about, the actual concert. I mean, yeah, that's there, but it's really all about everything that led up to it. I mean, you're focusing on primarily, your main character, the one that Elliot, that Dimitri Martin plays, and he's a young gay Jewish guy who's been like kind of helping his parents with their resort, and he brings a festival to where they live, and it's how everything that goes into putting it together, how it takes over the town, but what it does to everybody, how it changes them.
And that's Dimitri Martin that plays in The Comedian.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about it is it focuses on him, and it's really about how slapshot put together this festival was, and how they got kicked out of a town that they were going to be in, and the festival was going to be ruined. And he had this license to have a music and art festival in his town, and he was able to kind of screw over his town in order to bring this festival there for the betterment of the town. But it's about all the craziness that happened and how the town just exploded and how they all hated him, and how it goes to save his parents' hotel. But at the same time, there's this small group of about half a dozen characters that we see move in and out of this film, all played by recognizable actors that you would know, who we see how this festival has a profound effect on them without ever having it forced down our throat.
See, I'm curious to know, though, about this. I didn't get to see this, unfortunately, but I know obviously it's based on true events, but is it actually based on a real story? I mean, are these real people? Did this really happen? Because I've always got the impression that no one who was involved in that town was happy about what happened afterwards. Like, it just destroyed that town.
Oh, you can
there's
see
a reason
that.
it was 25 years or whatever till there was a Woodstock 2.
No. It's just so funny. Like, the aftermath of it is like, oh my God. And even with, people trying to clean up, being earnest about, hey man, we're going to take care of things. We're going to clean up. The camera doesn't stay there long enough for you, but you in your brain, you go, no fucking way. This place is gone.
They didn't hire any security guards, They're like, there's all these fences and hippies just tore them down. So fuck it. I shouldn't have to pay. Peace and love, man.
Well, they explain how that happened, and at the same time, what's really great about this film is it's about Woodstock, but it never takes place at Woodstock, which is one of the disappointments that some people had. We've seen the movie Woodstock. We've seen recreations. We've seen documentaries. We've seen everything. We've seen all the performances. You see the stage in the background in
and
one
you never
shot.
See the performances.
You never see the performances. It's about the very human stories that are going on the periphery and outside of where Woodstock is taking place.
It sounds fascinating to me. Is this good? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was saying most people who were at Woodstock didn't get to see the music either.
Well, that's one of the things. Like when Dimitri Martin, when he finally gets there to try to see it, the closest he can get is so far away, and it's that scene and so many scenes like it that Ang Lee really captures the scope of it. I mean, I went up and down about between liking it a lot and loving it, but I finally came over to just loving the film when I stepped back and looked at what an accomplishment it was to put it together and how authentic he made it feel, and it was massive. It's like, there's just no way you could competently capture all of it. It's like he just found a good piece and went with that and did a great job with it.
Well, and one of the things about the film, what he was talking about is it is a roller coaster emotion movie. There are scenes where you will kind of dislike the movie, but it's intentional in that it's where they've built you up, and then they kind of crash. It crashes because of the reality. These are a bunch of starving kids wandering around in the woods tearing shit up. And you kind of have those moments where the party's kind of dying down and you're just like, fuck, was this really a good idea? And then,
and then coming off the spill party, I'm sure that's fresh in your mind right now.
Yeah.
and then it moves back into something transcendent again, where it gets very emotional and very cool and very inventive. But it does roller coaster. The first 10 minutes of the movie are really kind of boring because he's trying to show you just how boring and dull this small town, Catskill, upstate New York town really is. That the most exciting thing that happens there is once a year, this guy has a music festival where he sits out on his lawn and plays records. That's the most exciting thing ever to happen in this town.
Wow, this is like the difference between last year's spill party and this year.
Yes.
Yeah, last year was just Leon playing his rubber band on the front porch.
And it pops. One thing I found interesting about it is like, it's just this little sleepy town that everybody, loves each other. It's like Mayberry. But then, he brings his festival and they get mad, and then all their anti-Semitism comes out. It's like, wow, I really get to see what you guys are really about.
Wow, man.
It's kind of fucked up.
This movie, you really are selling me on this, because at first when we were joking around, I said, you didn't even see the movie.
I did.
Because he made the first joke, like, taking Woodstock and like, yeah, you can take it and have it. And I was like, oh, man, wait a minute, you didn't see this. But I've been hearing some good things about this, exactly what you were saying. It's like, finally, something that focuses on the people who brought this together, and we all know about the music.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't want to oversell it, because there's a lot of jokes that don't pay off, and you probably don't get to know everybody as much as you want to.
There's so many people.
Yeah, because there's so many people. But he does a good job of really focusing on just a few characters, and they have a fully realized story arc. Like, there's the character of Elliot, he's who you follow the whole time.
And he comes around and you get, And so
he really discovers himself.
And there's a you said rotating cast of people in here, like Emil Hirsch.
Hirsch has a great storyline.
Sabretooth is in a dress in here.
He's great.
Yeah, no, both of those characters are really great.
Who's that actor?
Liev Schreiber.
Liev Schreiber. He plays a gay ex-Marine.
Transvestite,
and who comes in to offer his. He knows Elliot. He's a friend of a friend, and comes to offer security services.
You do need some real security around here.
And you're real security?
What?
Well, you don't look.
Okay, I may be a grandfather, but that doesn't.
You're a grandfather.
I married young, the night before I shipped out for Korea.
You were in Korea?
Semper Fi, you little prick. Sergeant, U.S. Marine Corps.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's me with the cigar. The other one was the love of my life. Killed. Sniper. I went out on patrol, found the Chinese pissant who did it, and broke his neck with my own hands.
Jesus.
Actually, I made that last part up, but I would have if I'd gotten hold of the son of a bitch, and I'd do it today if I found him.
Vilma, you're hired.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
You won't regret it.
Do you need some kind of uniform?
Oh, I've got uniforms, babe.
Emil Hirsch plays a guy who's just gotten back from Nam, and he is fucked up. And he's just gone. And it's all about the transformative thing that happens to him through Woodstock. Paul Dano shows up as a hippie in a car with his girlfriend in one of the best sequences in the film, which, as me and Leon were talking about after the film, is one of the best trip sequences we have ever seen.
Yeah, it really is. I mean,
when you say trip, like,
you know, drops acid.
Okay. Like this is one of those movies like The Doors, like, it made me want to drop acid. I mean, I was like, damn, I don't know about living this hippie lifestyle, but
We'll talk later, Leon.
Okay, cool. But he does do it in a way, like, as much as everybody raves about
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Thank you, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. This scene I thought topped that. And it's just one scene, but I was like, damn, that just nails it. I want to be there.
And it's so subtle and so beautiful the way they do it, and they really they get the vibe right of everything. It just, the whole film feels very authentic, and it's also technically brilliant. There are these shots that are like sustained 2.5 minute shots of them going down this line of people who are trying to get into Woodstock, that it's just like, fuck, how the hell did they do this and get this all to work in one shot, one take? And it's just really, really well done.
Well, so You saying I should avoid this movie at all costs?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm gonna wait for Taking Altamont.
There's actually
there's a reference to that in the movie.
there's a moment where it's like, I can't wait for my next thing. I'm gonna get the Rolling Stones together. We're gonna go. It's gonna be great.
What could possibly go wrong?
No, waiting for Carlisle's movie, Taking Dragon Con.
Taking Gen Con, bitches.
But no, so what would you give it then?
I give it full price. I mean, honestly, I went back and forth between matinee and full price, and there's a scene between Elliot and his dad near the end of the movie that just really like choked me up. I was like, you know what, this sold me. It gets the full price.
I was teetering as well. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not an over the top.
Right.
Oh my God, what a great film! It could be watched on the small screen, but you know what? It's worth seeing on the big screen. It's beautiful. It's well made. It's probably one of the smarter films you're going to see this month. It's really just a good, solid movie. I give it a full price.
Well, he's saying see it on the big screen just to see the scope of this,
Yeah.
to see a people who.
Yeah, but most of the scenes are very small. There's only a small portion of scenes that are really that big, and even then, with the scope, it's not big screen spectacle.
But if it's bigger, it's easier to spot Waldo in the crowd.
Except no,
but Wallo's probably fucking some other guy in the bushes.
in high shit.
Yeah, he didn't even know.
You know, that's one of the things I did really dig about this film is there's a lot of nudity in it, but it's all done tastefully in a way where it's never like lingering on the screen. It's just kind of there in the background, and people will whip off their clothes and the camera will move, and they won't try to hide that they're naked, but they won't linger on it and, make it sexualized in any way.
Yeah, that's how it was.
Yeah, it's that 70s hippie nudity. So it's not really that sexy to begin with.
That's what I'm thinking. It's like with the kind of nudity where you have mud cake between your ass, and it's like
no. It's not
there's-
titillating.
There's a problem here, and this is the problem that Corey's going to have. In fact, I was watching one scene in particular in which there's a scene in which this theater troupe whips off their clothes. Now, the theater troupe is made up of what's his
Dan
name?
Fogler.
Dan Fogler, who keeps his shorts on every time. Thank God.
Goodness.
And it's Dan Fogler, like two other guys, and then 8 really hot hippie chicks. And they whip their clothes off, but the camera never lingers long enough for you to go, wow, look at those stellar tits. And I was thinking, wow, this is so going to frustrate Corey because he's going to be like, motherfucker, I want to stare at those for like at least 3 seconds.
Loses a whole rating just because of not enough lingering.
Another thing that takes it down is like along with those 8, naked chicks is 5 naked dudes. So there's tits and wieners flying all over the
Well,
place.
you see enough porn to get used to that. I feel like.
Yeah, no, the
Corey's seen
inauthentic
enough
part is
porn.
there's with all those naked hot chicks, there's not one hard wiener. They're all just like flailing in the wind, like woohoo, we're having a good
know
time.
I don't
neither
think
one
I'd
of
be
you-
looking for that. I'm not disappointed to hear that.
They're all buried in bushes.
It's starting.
Go see this thing. See what the center of the universe looks like.